In this video, we're going to be discussing a few lies and myths about breakups and getting back together. And some of these can be kind of nightmarish, at least in terms of the consequences that they have on your life and the choices that they are unfortunately causing a lot of people to make. But before we go ahead and get into all of that, my name is Clay with modernlove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not. Because you, of course, deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. And if you agree with me, please help me out with this YouTube channel by hitting that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm, by subscribing to this YouTube channel down below, and also leaving a comment as well, letting me know what sorts of myths or lies about breakups that you've heard in the past. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into all of this. But first, before we do that, I did want to let you know that we do have our course called Effortless Connection, which helps you to communicate better with your ex. If that is something that you need some help with, Effortless Connection is a good place to go. This specifically covers, communication strategies for romantic relationships. Works great for people that are going through breakups and wanting to get back together with their ex. And it helps you to build more cooperation, communication, and consistency in your interactions with one another. But all the information for that is down below. If it's right for you, feel free to sign up. If not, no worries. Let's go ahead and get into this. I've been around helping people with breakups for quite a while now. This YouTube channel is going to be 10 years old later on this year, which is really crazy to think about. And our main course, the X Solution program, is almost 10 years old as well, which is quite stunning. Of course, I was helping people out a little bit before that, a few years before that, before we kind of solidified everything into ESP. But let's go ahead and get into some of these crazy things that I've heard. Maybe you've heard as well too. The first one is that if you really love them, let them go. If they came back to you, they loved you all along. If they didn't, they never did. That quote, whoever said it, I don't know. You've probably heard it a bunch of times. It's a well-intentioned quote. It's also kind of a do-nothing quote as well too, It says, hey, if someone broke up with you and you want to make things work with them, do nothing. And if they come back to you, they loved you all along. And if they don't, then they never did. I mean, I guess that could work, but the problem is it's so conservative that you're not going to have very good results, I don't think. A lot of times there are people who are in situations that can be saved, relationships that can be saved, but because they're following some advice that they've heard somewhere else that's just like crazy conservative, they end up not taking action. They end up not going for that relationship, and that relationship slips through their fingers, okay? There are a lot of reasons why your ex might really actually love you a lot and break up with you and then not come back to you, right? They might do it because maybe they feel bad for hurting you in the first place, and they think, that breakup was so messy and I hurt them so much. Who am I to go back to them and say, hey, I made a mistake? I just don't know if things could be any better. I just feel so embarrassed about this. Or who am I to go back to them after hurting them? Or all of these other sorts of things that they might say, right? And so, yeah, if you want to play it like super ultra safe, you could just go follow this and maybe your ex comes back to you. But the thing is that you're not giving them a good, compelling reason to come back to you. Obviously, the two of you broke up for some reason. Obviously, something in the relationship wasn't working out for someone. And so the breakup happened. But if you want to actually get back together, they need to see that something's going to be fundamentally different. They need to see that somehow whatever caused that breakup to happen in the first place is no longer a concern. It's no longer a major obstacle, or whatever the case may be. And so that is probably going to require more than just passively waiting to see if they come back. Okay, it's probably going to involve you going out there and demonstrating to them through your interactions that this is an entirely different dynamic between the two of you. Number 2, time heals all wounds. We've heard this before as well too. I think this one is a pretty bad one as well, because time does not necessarily heal all wounds. I know some other dating and relationship coaches as well too, and we talk sometimes, and this is a fortune cookie advice phrase that gets on the nerves of me, and also, some other people that I know as well too. Because, we've worked with people who have been hung up on their ex for, years and years and years and years, decades even in some cases. And I know that there's all these things out there about, breakup math, like, oh, if you were together for X number of years, then it's going to take X number of months to get over your ex or something like that. Or the only way to get over your ex is to just date as many people as possible, or, whatever the case may be. Maybe that's helped some people somehow, but is it going to help you? Not necessarily. If you're just waiting for time to pass and hoping that it's going to heal all of your wounds, you might be waiting for a long time. That is to say, you could be like some of these people that I've heard of who have been hung up on their ex, 30 years after a breakup. Clearly the breakup math isn't working so well for these people. What would that be? You'd have to be hung up on your, what is 30 years? That's like 360 months. So you'd have to be like a factor of, it's like 7,000 months together in a relationship, right? That no, it's not going to work out that way. Breakup math doesn't work out that way. If I'm doing my math right anyway, on the spot. But also, time heals all wounds also causes people to do some really unproductive things. They think that they just have to wait it out. They just have to hold their breath, distract themselves from the pain that they're going through, big red flag right there, and just wait out a certain period of time and boom, they're going to be over their ex, right? But the truth is that, you don't want to be distracting yourself from your feelings. What's going to help you to heal your emotional wounds is to actually get real with your feelings, get present with them, feel them through all the way to the end, not just sort of shove them away and say, okay, I'm just going to go run on a treadmill until I feel better, or okay, I'm just going to go, I don't know, learn Spanish until I'm fluent and then I'm going to feel better or something like that. No, you need to actually go out there and confront your emotions directly, resolve them and deal with them. Sure, if you want to run on a treadmill or learn Spanish or anything else, sure, go ahead and do it, but don't think that it's somehow going to help you to heal from your breakup. The third lie or myth that I've heard is that, once you break up with someone, you should just never look back. Breakups happen for a reason. Just never look back, never take an ex back. It's called a breakup because it's broken and all of that stuff. And, yeah, sure, it is a breakup and it did happen because something wasn't working. Whether it was broken is debatable, but something wasn't working for someone in the relationship. And to think that it's always going to be that way, or, hey, it broke up for a reason, you should never go back to your ex or something like that, says that, like, okay, first of all, that's a very static view of the world. That's what a lot of personal development people these days might call a fixed mindset, which is to say, if it didn't work out, it will never work out. There's no opportunity for improvement. There's no opportunity for someone to grow or someone to change or someone to improve something, or for a relationship to grow or change or improve in some way. Obviously, that's not true. Obviously, it is definitely possible for a relationship to improve. I mean, I think most of us can agree that it's possible for a relationship to decay. When you got together with your partner, things were probably great and wonderful. And then when you got to this point where you broke up, things probably weren't so great and wonderful. So obviously it's possible for there to be this decay, this decline, but it's also possible for there to be an improvement, right? If it's possible for things to get worse, it must be possible for things to get better as well too. And so if you truly believe that your breakup happened and you should never look back and get back together with an ex, I mean, that's fine. Once again, that's some sort of like super ultra conservative kind of advice out there. Yeah, you're probably less likely to be hurt if you just float from one relationship to the next, never bothering to look at why it broke up or learn anything from it. Or make any improvements. Yeah, you might be less likely to be hurt, but are you likely to end up in a successful and thriving relationship? Probably not. Most relationships, most strong relationships hit some point of conflict at some point in their lifetime. It's just how it goes. You have one person with one worldview, another person with another worldview. You put them together, there's going to be some rough edges where they don't quite align all the way. And so, you're going to have to work through those, or just have a string of breakups behind you, whatever you want to do. But if you never look back, sure, maybe you keep yourself from being disappointed or hurt or something like that. But you may also be losing out on a great relationship that could have been saved and could have been worked out if you had been willing to, change the dynamic that you had between one another and change things moving forward. Okay. The fourth one we want to talk about here today is that no contact is your only tool. Again, I've been on YouTube for almost 10 years, And when I first got on YouTube, there were really only 2 other people on YouTube making YouTube videos. One of them has stopped, and as far as I am aware, she has gone on to study art or something like that. And the other guy, his video channel actually got like taken down or something like that. He never put any of these watermarks up in the corner, and so I think a lot of people just like ripped his videos and uploaded them and pretended they were their own or something, and they tried to get his channel banned or something like that. So it kind of went away. But yeah, that's what the state of YouTube was like back in 2011 when I got started making breakup videos. And so I have seen a lot of advice. And I remember back even before all this YouTube stuff, when I was going through my own breakups and trying to figure out how to get my ex back, people were always talking about this no contact thing. And I've seen lots of, so-called experts come and so-called experts go. And I've heard them all basically say the same thing, do no contact. Wait for your ex to miss you, have them crawl over broken shards of glass to, be back in contact with you, get together with them, the 2 of you fall back in love again, and you're back together, right? You probably heard this in some form or other. And the main tool that they all are encouraging is no contact. Now, of course, no contact does have its time and place. We've talked about this before. We have an entire playlist on what I would consider the appropriate way to do no contact. Please check it out right up there. But not everyone needs to do no contact. And oftentimes, if you're following some of this other advice out there and you think that no contact is your only tool, it's going to cause you to retreat into no contact whenever you might need a tool, right? But there's often times when you might need something other than no contact. The truth is, no contact can be a very challenging thing. It can be a very difficult thing because if your ex is in a place where they're looking for a relationship and, things are a little bit rocky, things are a little bit rough, things aren't going as smoothly, and you just retreat into no contact, you're sending a very dangerous message to them that says, hey, when the going gets tough, I run away. And if they are in a place where they actually want a great committed relationship, that's probably not a very strong relationship signal to be sending to them. Hey, here's someone who's when things get challenging, they're going to run away. That's definitely relationship material right there. When we have our first child and we're all both stressed out and we're at our wits' end because we haven't slept in weeks or months, and there's a pile of dishes in the kitchen and all of these things are just going out the wayside as we struggle to adapt to this new life, you run away, right? That's not a very powerful message. So there is a time and place for no contact. It should not be your only tool. There are so many other tools. We have advanced relational skills. We have communication tools. We have all these sorts of things that we teach people in our courses, by the way. No contact does have its time and place, but we don't want to use it as our only tool because, as they say, if the only tool that you have is a hammer, every problem starts to look like a nail. Same is true with no contact. If the only tool that you have at hand is no contact, every problem that you encounter starts to look like an opportunity to withdraw contact, to somehow punish your ex or something like that. Again, is this really a strong relationship signal to be sending out? Probably not. Okay, the fifth one we're going to be talking about today is that you have to pretend like you don't care. This kind of builds off of that whole no contact thing, but there's a lot of people on the internet that will tell you that, you have to show your ex that you don't care, that you're not that interested. And, this can be useful at times if, like we were talking about in a previous video, the social interactions are way out of balance. But, you want it to come from a place where you're actually genuinely more invested in your own sense of yourself than you are in someone else's opinion of you, rather than, okay, I actually care about you a lot, but I have to pretend that I don't care about you so that you actually like me because we all won't, we can't have, or whoever cares the least controls the relationship or some other BS like that, right? Again, the truth is that you can care a lot about someone and you can show that to someone, and that can bring the 2 of you closer together. If you have to pretend like you don't care in order to get someone to love you, chances are that person is probably not going to love you for who you are. And chances are you're probably going to have a very, very hard time having a great relationship with that person. So if you need to pretend to be someone or something that you're not in order to get a commitment from someone, chances are you're just going further down the path on the wrong path, okay? So what we want to do is we want to find out sooner rather than later if we have the capacity to show up as the person that we are by expressing ourselves in positive and genuine sorts of ways, like what we talk about in some of our trainings, that are intended to express genuine emotion and authentic feelings that we have for someone, rather than putting on a mask and pretending to be some aloof, indifferent sort of person, right? If you can be with someone and they love you for who you actually are, then you know at the end of the day that they actually want to be with you. You can lie next to them in bed at night and knowing that they actually love you. They're not just loving some act that you put on. You don't have this like second guess in your mind, like, why are they actually with me? Is it because I just pretended to be hard to get, or is it because they actually want to be with me, right? And I think that's a much better place to be in than wondering about that sort of stuff, is knowing that they actually want to be with you, that they love you for who you are, okay? So anyway, this has just been a taste of a few lies and myths of breakups. Again, if you do want to learn more about communication, we do have that Effortless Connection course. Feel free to check it out down below if that is something that you want to learn more about. And if you have liked this video, please like the video for YouTube. It sends a message to the algorithm that these videos that I make are pretty good, and that YouTube might want to show them to some more people. So help a guy out with his YouTube channel, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below letting me know what sorts of myths, lies, misconceptions, etc. you might have heard about when it comes to breakups or relationships in the comment section. Anyway, please take care, and if you want to learn more about that no contact rule that I was talking about before, please feel free to check out this video series over here on our take on the no contact rule, or check out this video right here. But thank you so much. Please take care, and I'll talk to you next time.